just finished up your house arrest time. How's that feel?
Right. Fuck, bro. It's just like 1,000,000 pounds of stress off my shoulders. When you get released to the halfway house, it's a surreal feeling too, but you still don't have that freedom. You're still in a place with bunks, racks, eating prison food, being in that environment. So, just the small shit, shower sandals, shit like that. That's a big deal, sleeping in your own bed. So I had to do 6 months at that halfway house, and then they allowed me to do the last 4.5 months on an ankle monitor. So I came to my pop's house, and it's still a little uncomfortable. It's different, but it blows anything else out of the water by
Yeah.
far. But they still restrict you. You can't go to venues, like you can't, like places where there's going to be a lot of people. The day that I got off home confinement, I went to Lagoon. I went to an amusement park because you couldn't do that. I couldn't submerge the ankle monitor in water. I couldn't be in a large area like an amusement park. You can't go to like concerts and shit like that, shit that you really want to enjoy on the weekend. You can move around and do little small shit, which is great. I'm never going to complain, but it was just cool to be able to have that freedom of choice. And then afterwards to go to a hotel with my girl and stay there, staying overnight somewhere, that's not an option. So it was cool. It was just like being released again.
Uh, Now my somebody I've known since I was about 15, Justin Bradley, we call him JB. I just showed you. Remember, I tagged you yesterday, and or he followed you. He's in the halfway house.
Yeah.
He just did Fed Time. Also, they got him here at CCA in Youngstown. I'm gonna be doing some stuff like this with him too, and he's been telling me the same shit. Like, man, I'm home, but I'm not home. You know what I mean? He's like,
No, it's
you
like
know,
it's kind of a frustrating feeling in the sense that you can taste freedom, but you're not quite there. You can look out a window or go out on your little pass, whatever, and you move around in society around civilians and shit, so you can feel that energy, but you're just not
right.
really in the same
You go
lane.
to NA meetings a lot.
No, I've never been to an NA meeting.
Oh, okay. See, he uses that like kind of as a way to, he's in a program. He just showed me a photo. He got like 12 certificates, shit like that. So,
Right.
helping him too. A lot of people don't realize this right here, what we're doing, me and you, and a lot of other people, the Reentry Project, your homie, a lot of people we know are using this as a platform to stay on the right path. Like people who come in and out of prison, I've noticed a lot of prison content creators, they rack up years that they stay out. And I'm wondering if it's a pattern that this is like something that just reminds you every day of where you came from and what they got waiting for you.
Well, I think words are powerful. So when you put that energy into the world, into the universe, you're
Yeah.
held accountable. So you kind of put yourself in check like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because going to prison, you feel like you failed anyway. But if you put your word on it and you're out here spitting this shit and saying, this is who I am, and then you don't fulfill that, fuck, that's a whole different
Gotcha.
level of feeling like you failed people. So like I said, I think it holds people accountable to what they're saying on these social media sites.
I like to hear that. I didn't realize you was that much of a spiritual minded person because I think like that too about the universe, God, just a higher power. But what you say will come to pass. You can manifest. If you speak nothing but just negative shit, you're gonna have that come back around whether you want it to or not. So yeah, I like that. You gotta look at things positive, try to speak it like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna win and make this happen. And eventually it's like you force the universe to believe it. You believe it, you receive it. Someone I know used to say that all the time.
No, absolutely, that's facts. No, he
So
hit it on the head with that.
yeah, for sure. So that's cool, man. So you're good. They got an idea now of like what you had going on. You did your time. I'm gonna attach some photos when I edit this. I'm gonna show you. He sent me like 8 different photos of prisons and people he was incarcerated with. I'll add those. But so just go ahead and like jump into a little bit of what you and your homie got going on with like your commissary giveaway. Just a couple little things that you guys
Okay.
and his
Yeah,
t-shirt.
so we got a cool little group of us. We're doing a weekly commissary giveaway on our social media platform, on our TikToks. so people can enter their loved ones that are in prison. uh we all have been there. You know, we've been behind the wall, starved out, ground to dust, beat up, and just, you know, wondering when the next meal's coming, because either you're in the shoe, you're locked down, you know, your locker's depleted. Like,
Yeah.
you go through all these changes while you're in there, so we understand that pressure, that pain. But also, we have Christine from the Loved Ones Coalition, and she knows what it's like to be on the other side where you're trying to hold somebody down who's in prison. You know, she did that through two bids, with kids, bills, all the things that you have to go through while still trying to help your loved one in prison survive and even thrive in any means that you can. So we're just trying to give back, just trying to help people out, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I wanted to get that out there. I was kind of curious myself. Like, I see it, the live, I'll hurry up and hit like 300 likes. I'll share it, stuff like that. But I still didn't know the very much, very much of the details. Shout out to her and everybody involved. I saw Joshua Browning, who was also on Blood on the Reservoir TV recently.
Right.
And
Yep.
also, I got to go on that show recently. Chad Marks, shout out to him. He's awesome prison content creator. So a lot of these people were mentioning have their own way of doing things, their own reason, their own thing they bring to the table, their own lane. But at the same time, we all represent the same, community. Like, we ain't got to
Right.
put.
No, I mean, it's all about elevating. You know, you get out here, you work hard, you inspire other people to do the same. But if you have the means, you reach back and try and pull other people out too. You know, and that's what it's all about. Not being a statistic, because so many people easily fall back into that path because that's what they know, or the opportunities aren't there, or the stresses. You know, there's a lot of factors, but if you can somehow motivate and inspire people to not do that and then help them in other ways, like the commissary giveaway, you know, just show them there's some hope and people who actually give a fuck out here, then that's what you do.
Yeah, like some people don't have it as good as that where they got family. I want to shout out my woman, my fiance. We've been together since we were teenagers, since 2006, and she could have ran so many times. I used to tell her on the phone, just live your life. I am dragging you down. And she would say, no, you're not. Quit beating yourself up. You got this. We got this. And she fucking seen the light at the end of the tunnel before I did. And she would send me money, come visit me, bring me see my three kids. You know what I mean? So it takes a lot. I felt
No,
bad.
see, that's a beautiful thing right there. That's a beautiful thing. You know, a lot of people, when they're behind the walls, they have that level of anger within them and they get entitlement issues. They feel like people owe them and they let them down. And at the same time, it's tough because people got to move on and live their lives. You know, we made the choices that put us there. So it's a double-edged sword. You know, it's rough on both sides, but when you find somebody that can see through that fog, bro, that's a rare gem, you know,
I,
and that's a beautiful thing.
I agree very much. That's why I more or less wanted to mention that. I wanted to bring up something kind of random, but it's on topic. You did time at High Desert, right? Is it called High
Right.
Desert? Southern something? What
Yeah,
is it?
High Desert State Prison in Nevada.
You want to talk about anything about like just randomly what that was about? Because I keep hearing about it. Stories of when it was open. It's no longer open, right?
Oh, I believe it's still open.
It is my
Yeah,
bad.
I
Okay,
haven't.
Nate, free and sober. Shout out to him. We were talking about something, and he sent me some news articles and links. I might be getting them confused that they shut one of them down out there where you guys are at, or where he's at.
So there's High Desert and then there's Warm Springs that's right next door. I know there's been a lot of controversy behind both of them because, you know, there's a lot of cover-ups between COs, a lot of dirty shit going on there.
Correct.
And it's been going on for a long time. So I know there's been a lot of lawsuits and a lot of issues. I haven't really heard anything about either one of them being shut down, but they also sent me to Utah when I got out. So I probably wouldn't hear all that news until it trickled down later down that line. So you might be right. I don't know, but I know it's a fucked up place to do time. I know that for sure, but it's pretty much in High Desert where I was at, it's slammed down. It's a max security. So I mean, even if you're at the most privileged level on that yard, you're still only coming out for, you know, 3 hours a day or whatever. It's just, you know, you start out an hour a day, like you work your way. Uh, Sometimes you'll get like an hour on the tier, an hour and a half out on the yard. It's, you know, super political, just a lot of bullshit going on, a lot of drama. Like I said, the cops are fucking on some bullshit. It's just, you know, when I walked in there on my first day, when I hopped off the bus, uh, they lined us all up, put our head, said, face the wall, put your forehead on the wall. They were taking our cuffs off from behind. And the dude, a couple people down from me, took his forehead off because, I mean, you got a bunch of dudes behind you making noise, racket, taking off cuffs. They're yelling, whatever, talking shit. And he took his forehead off to look behind him, and they just pummeled this dude. Just took his face and face planted into the wall. They just made a demonstration. And I think for real, they were just looking for somebody to do it because they knew that somebody would. And they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to just put a demo down for everybody else to see, like, yo, this is how we get down here.
Yeah.
So the cops just beat the hell out of him. And it's, I mean, that shit is commonplace. It's fucked up. It's foul. And
Trauma.
you know how they don't play fair. They don't play
Yeah.
fair. They get you when you're cuffed, or, you know, they jump
Oh,
on you, a bunch of dudes. Like, you know, it's just, it's a shitty place to be for sure.